now here's a model I have been really looking forward to painting. The Din Djarin Mandalorian. Ever since the show came out, I really wasn't doing too much Star Wars Legion, but the show came out, and I was looking for some STLs so I could print on my 3D printer. I just never quite found anything good enough. There's some good stuff out there now, but when I was looking, there wasn't too many. But this is the actual Star Wars Legion from the tabletop game. This is their version of the Mandalorian. They also have Grogu here, right? So we'll be doing him. But anyway, what a treat. Looking forward to doing this. I picked out some simple colors, and for the armor, a lot of these guys are doing this non-metallic and this and that. That just seems like, I don't know, for me that's just a lot of work. That's another whole long technique that I'm not super familiar with, and maybe one day I'll learn, but and I do a little bit here and there. But for the most part, I'm just going to stick with Vallejo. With Vallejo and their dark aluminum for a base, do silver, and I may even add some ivory to lighten some stuff up for some reflection. But other than that, that's about it. Guys, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps support the channel. And let's get in there and knock Din Djarin out. Looking forward to this one. Well, I have considered another route as for the metallic, for the metal armor, the Vespar, I think it is, Vespar. Anyway, Green Stuff World makes this chrome metal, and it works really terrific. I just don't know if it'll look good on here. That's the issue. That's the problem. I guess I should try it out on a test model. I'll try something and see what it looks like. I think I actually have another Din Djarin somewhere in the studio that I printed out that I just didn't like, and it was too small. Maybe I'll test it out on him and see what it looks like. Might be a good idea, but I may end up going this route. We'll see. But I just want to let you know there are other options out there besides non-metallic metal and just regular metallic paint. So chrome metal would look probably really good on Din Djarin here, but I just don't know if I want to go that route. Anyway, guys, there's an option. I know I said I was going to start with the metallic first, but I think I'm really considering doing the brown first. It's kind of like the skin, and I always like to do the skin first. And it's really not too bad. I just want to put a dark base down, here we go, some mahogany, and then put the metal down. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Anyway, dilemmas, right? Alright, we got the base down for the browns. I used mahogany from Pro Acryl and a couple on the boots and stuff. On the boots there, I did I mixed in a little bit of leather brown from Vallejo, just to give it a different color. I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna start working on the black. I've got to do the cape, and also his gloves are black, but the tips are brown. So I'm gonna get those done before I do the tips, and then we'll do that, and then we'll move on to the main event, the armor. There we go. Got the black and the brown down, the bases. That's pretty solid. I'll end up doing some gray highlights. I'll use some of the dark warm gray here, and then I'll probably come out to use some ivory to lighten it down coming out. And I'll do the same thing with the gray or the brown. I actually have some leather stuff set up for the leather work. And then I think now we will move on to the actual metal. We'll start with dark aluminum, and then we will highlight it after we shade it, probably maybe with the silver. All right, let's do it. Armor coming up. Hey, go check out my other videos. Oh, like and subscribe. For the base color on the armor, we're going to do dark aluminum here, and that's going to give us our dark base, and then we'll highlight up from there with silver, and maybe with a little bit of ivory added to the silver. We'll see. But anyway, let's start throwing this dark aluminum down for Din Djarin's armor. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit up the brown. We're going to start doing some highlights on the brown here and there, getting some of those bands highlighted, some of the higher areas highlighted, and definitely the tops of the boxes, and then, you know, like right here, for instance, I'm going to give it a little worn look, like so. And I'll do that all the way around, and then I will do it again with the pure leather, Vallejo leather. You know, this is just to give it a little zest before we add the final highlight. Really easy, just hit the high areas. Like this guy right here, let's get this boot. Right, just the high areas. Right. Here, here, here. Real subtle, real simple. We got the highlights down on the brown. I think we're done. And as far as the brown's concerned, we'll hit it up with maybe a sepia or an Agrax Earthshade wash, or just some type of sepia or brown wash of some sort. Anything. I'll probably end up using the Citadel, but because it's easy and it's handy. And we'll cover it. And it's going to dull down some of that pop that you see there, and it'll make it perfect. It'll blend it into exactly where we need it. All right, that looks pretty good so far. And I think next we will actually probably highlight that cape. All right, let's do it. Here I went back and took the Pro Curl Black and I watered it down really thin with a lot of water with a little bit of paint, and I went over those highlights. They were just a little too bright for me, so I wanted to take them down a little bit and make them disappear. It looks much better. It's not so pow in your face. That's not what I was going for. Now I may do a touch up with the actual gray I used just to brighten up the top, a couple little things up here, but that's about it. But I think that's pretty good for now. Maybe a couple highlights, we'll see. But let's move on to the armor and getting the crevices and the areas darkened up. And I think I'll use a non-oil wash, or I maybe even use the Pro Acryl black wash. We'll see. Second, I was doing some detail work when I backed off the camera here. I did some little bit of work on the belt and a lot of work on that strap there. I did a black undercoat and I did the leather areas just with some. I believe I used some mahogany and then I used some burnt umber and then I did a mixture of leather tan as well and came up with those highlights. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Oh, that cape's looking pretty nice too. Drop that down. It was pretty bright, so I used some of the same color, watered it down, and just went over it to drop it down a little bit. And again, we're really zoomed in. You back it out, and then here we go. You know. Right, well, let's get on that armor. That's all that's really left is the base, the armor, some details here and there. Oh, I got to get some blue on his gauntlet arm there. He's got some little triangles that are a light blue or a blue. I'll get that figured out. All right, let's do it. I did shade work. I did water down the shade just a little bit, but not too much. But I shaded all the crevices in the armor. You know, you can see a little bit of staining, but I'm gonna go over the top higher areas with silver to bring that out. I may even go over dark aluminum. I kind of like this look, but I'll probably do the silver because it'll make it a little brighter, just kind of more like the Mandalorian. But this is looking really good so far. I'm happy with what's going on. So we still need to do a wash on the leather and the brown, possibly. But the armor is pretty much done. There's really not much to do. What I did is I filled the visor in with just shade, and it's drying now, and it looks really good. I'm happy with that. All right, let's get on with that. The shading for the brown. I'm going to do a little bit of sepia wash on maybe a couple little things here, just to kind of see if that's the route I want to go. So I was thinking about doing the holster and go in there and see. Oop, that's a little too much here. Oop, let's knock that out. Get this holster. Just a sepia wash, that's it. That's all it is. Man, this bottle is not staying open. Here we go. Alright. So, yeah, it looks alright. For the small triangle on his fist there, we're going to do this sky blue Pro Acryl, and we're going to be doing it right there, just a smidge there. Also, I've been using these wolf hair brushes throughout this process, and so far so good. I'm pretty happy with them. This is the smallest one they have, and I figured I'd use this because that's pretty small. Let's get a little paint on there. Alright, see what I can do. This is pretty small. Alright. There we have it, Din Djarin. I did the light blue on the gauntlet there, or on the fist part, and then I also did a little bit of highlighting on the armor with some of the silver. Where'd it go here? Boom! I did. I touched it up with a little bit of silver here and there, just on the very top parts to make them shine. You can kind of see it here, even though the light's doing that. That's kind of where I put it. And also, I'm going to do a matte varnish, which is going to dull that down a little bit, and I may even go over with some silver on just to bring it back out. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, because his armor is pretty shiny, or pretty very reflective. So anyway, we'll see. But we need to get that base down on him, and I may throw Grogu in there. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm not sure if we're gonna have time, but anyway, there we go. Mandalorian, Din Djarin, looking pretty good. I'm gonna slap that matte varnish on there with the ultra matte varnish, aka ultra matte varnish, and get the base on there, and that's it. Boom, he's done. All right, guys, let's get to it. Well, there you have it, guys. Din Djarin from Star Wars Legions, the tabletop game. Man, I've been waiting to paint this guy for a long time. I've printed a few STLs. I just was not happy with them, and I just haven't even bothered. So I ended up buying the Star Wars Legion guy, and really glad I did, because man, what a fun paint. I love brown and greens and metallics and blacks and just basic earth colors. You know, they're terrific. They're very forgiving, and they're very easy to work with. So all of it worked out here really well. I'm really happy. Probably my favorite model so far, that I've done. I just love it. I'll get Grogu in there probably next week, maybe on my Instagram or my TikTok, when I can get him in there real quick. He's a real fast paint. I think you can understand. It's just some green, boom, done. But maybe I'll do a picture with two of them together on my Instagram and all that. But anyway, guys, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and watching, and I hope you guys will learn something too, because I do. I learn something every time I paint. Every time I film and do something, I learn something new, and I hope you guys do too. So again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week. Like and subscribe.